So he's just like, well, how about make a decision to sign with Chicago, play these 4 games, and then get the credit of the season and train in the off season, and then go. You'll learn the defense and everything else is on. You already know it because you already have Lovey's defense from when he came to get you with the Rams. So I'm like, yeah, I get to be reunited with Lovey. So I signed with them, go out, play the last 3 games of the season, get the credit season. Then I go in the off season, and I left Lovey. I was probably about 335 and so on. Next thing you know, I get a call from Lovey, and I'm about 306 tight. I found a trainer out in Denver. I'm running the mountains, Red Rocks. My wind is up. I'm great. I was getting toned up. I was like, maybe at the time, I was probably like, I'm going to say like 18% body fat at 307 pounds. So which was awesome because all DTs was at least 23, 24, and so on. So I was excited about that. And Lovey called me up, and I heard something that I've never heard in my NFL career. He's like, hey, what's going on? How are you? I was Lovey. What's going on, man? I can't wait to get out there, man. I'm looking good. I'm this, so on, or whatever. Next thing you know, he says, just let you know that Jacksonville called and they made an offer on you. You got a first right of refusal. What's a first right of refusal? They made an offer, and we have to decide if we want to match it or not. I said, that's cool. So match it, then we good. He's like, hey, so, I would love to match it, but the front office, they don't want me to match it. I was like, Lovey, you told me I'm going to sign a 2-year deal that I'm good. And he was like, yeah, but, we got Donajay, we got Darren Walker, we have Anthony Adams, we have Tommy Harris, he's going down the list. He's just like, we got Matt Tawina, however you say his name. So he's going through everything. And he's just like, it's going to be tough for you to make the squad. I was like, I'm fine with that. I'm telling you. I was just like, I'll go out there and let's battle it out. He's like, I think you have better opportunity in Jacksonville. They just got rid of Stroud. So we're not going to match it. And Marcus Stroud. So I was just like, all right, cool. So I put on a nice suit, so on Jacksonville colors. I go out there and I'm happy and everything's going great. I get out there, I'm battling to make the team and so on, and that happened. I made the team. Next thing you know, everybody's celebrating, partying. I'm sure everyone knows. My boy Richard Collier, he ended up getting shot and so on to start the year out paralyzed and took his leg. Remember that?
I actually don't remember that. Wow.
Yeah, Richard Collier. I think it's Collier, and that was 2008 season.
Because that is, that's crazy. Just everything you had to go through. I mean, I know it's really simple for people to be like, oh, this guy's a bust, like you mentioned with Goff, but the more and more people I have on this podcast, I've had analysts, I've had coaches, players. At the end of the day, you have all the talent in the world, but if the coach isn't playing you, the coach is putting you in the position to fail, it doesn't matter how talented you are. And
I totally agree.
Unfortunately, I think you see that a lot of the time today with a lot of talent. I mean, it's the NFL, so everyone's good. But, it's a matter of getting those snaps. It's a matter of being in the right place. Sometimes, like you said, having to put on that weight, that's not easy for everybody. It's really not, hey, you've been playing, I think the Packers did this with Clay Matthews. Hey, you've been a pass rusher, but now we're going to play you at inside backer. Like, what? You've been an edge guy.
Like, what do you mean?
So I totally hear you there with all that. But no, that's pretty crazy. But Jacksonville?
No, I was saying, so next thing you know, I'm out there, I'm playing, I'm up and down, it just ruined the mood. I really didn't want to be there, a lot of games and so on. there's a lot of games with Del Rio and stuff like that. Like Jack Del Rio will look. Let's say you was playing like I was ready to play a game. I was sitting there in my full-on uniform. I'm talking to the guys, John Henderson and those guys, and we ready to go. We done practice hard, or everyone's excited, and next thing you know, Jack walk in, and he sees me smiling, and then he walks over to me. He says, "You're down." So what do you mean I'm down? Like I don't warmed up, went out on the field, so on. What do you mean I'm down? It's like you're down. You're not playing the game. I'm like, because I smiled. Because he saw me smiling before the game, I was inactive. So that was the kind of mess that was going on out there. If you look at even that year, like I was saying, that 2008 year was so hard for me because I ended the year as a Ram. I got in 2008, obviously the new year and everything else. I ended the off-season workout as a Viking. I ended the off-season workout as a Bronco because I got traded there. I ended preseason as a Bronco. I set out most of the year, went to Chicago. So what was this, 2007? So I finished that year at Chicago, and then the beginning of the year, I get a first right of refusal, and I'm in Jacksonville. Finished on Thanksgiving Day. I was in Jacksonville, so that off season, made the team. Thanksgiving Day, I got released and had Greg Williams was my guy and so on. So love Greg and so on, which was a great guy, and next thing you know, I ended up getting let go, and that he bumps heads with Jack Del Rio over it and everything else, and he's telling me, when I'm leaving, I'm not coming back here. I'm going to go somewhere else, and I'm going to need you on the team with me. So, all right, I got let go on Thanksgiving. So I'm like, Jacksonville ain't going to the playoffs. I'm going to see where Jack goes. where Greg Williams goes. I ended up getting let go, and the Williams boys, Kevin and Pat, they ended up having the Star Caps case and so on. They was fighting it, and the Vikings called. Instantly, I start crying. I was like, oh, man, I can't go to, I'm being punished. So here we go with the purple and everything else. So I get out to Minnesota, and you got Carl Dunbar out there. And Carl is a great coach, just great coach. First thing he said was, I don't care what happened before you got here. I just want to see you play ball. I'm just going to do whatever I can to get you to just play ball and have fun again. I was like, man, I love playing ball. I love having fun. So initially, I was guarded. He was like, hey, don't get defensive. Don't guard it and nothing like that. I was just like, what you mean? I play ball and all this stuff. He's like, no, don't get defensive. He says, I know what you've been through. Just play ball. I was like, all right. He says, you got here. He says, we got you. We just want to see what you can do, make the best out of it, bring your game to the next level, and see if we can get a great player. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And guess what? I was able to go out, play that year, right? So watch how this go. I was able to go out, finish that season. We made it to the playoffs. We lost to the Eagles in the first round of playoffs. That next year, which was, I want to say my seventh year. No, my sixth year. I ended up going back to the Vikings. I signed a 1-year deal. That was the first time in my NFL career that I went back to a team that I knew the whole defense. So in the off season, I was able to focus on strictly working out, training, strength, and working on my craft. And so I can go in and have film to see what I needed to correct so I can, be a better player. That was the first year. And that following year, I went out and I dominated. 5 sacks or so, whatever the number was. Playoffs, destroyed the Cowboys, and yeah, it was just, I just had a monster year. And off season came, and Buffalo was offering me a lot of money. And my agent, when I talked to him, he was like, yeah, it's a lot of money. I know you definitely might want to do that. He said, but, I think they want to take you and they want to have you replace Pat Williams eventually. So I'm like, so I talked to Pat, I talked to Carl Dunbar. He's like, man, come back home. Come back home. Yeah, you're going to take over for Pat. And I was like, all right, cool. I signed the deal. And I'm having issues. And I'm talking to Leslie Frazier. And then I found out that he didn't like me. And I won't go into the reasons why, but he didn't like me. So I tell Carl, I'm like, Carl, why did I even come back? This dude doesn't even like me. Like, he don't even like me as a player. He didn't like me when he was in Tampa. He didn't like me when he was at the Colts. He didn't like me. Like, he didn't like me as a player. And I didn't know that. But I didn't have a chance, to really sit and talk with him. When I come in as a new guy, and I have the year that I like, he didn't like nothing that I did. He wanted to put LaTroy Guion in front of me. He wanted to put Fred Evans in front of me. And I was like, well, what's happening? Like, these guys don't have my talent. I'm out there with Kevin Williams and Pat Williams, and we're dominating. It's not we're leading the league and stopping the run. We're leading the league in sacks and like all types of stuff. We're one of the best defenses out. And next thing you know, I'm getting replaced by Fred Evans. I'm not knocking Fred, great dude, but talent-wise, we wasn't even close. And so my knee kept swelling up, right? And I was told, Leslie Frazier came in. He's like, man, I think you're a solid player, but we need you to rest because we need you for the long haul. So your knee keeps swelling up. I think you should have it drained. I was like, have it drained? So I talked to the doctors. They're like, yeah, draining it'll help you. You only be out for about 4 weeks. Long story short, I go in and they drain my knee, and I end up missing I missed all preseason and the first 4 games of the season. I'm trying to fight to get back on the field. I got back on the field. Everything was solid, but I was still hobbling around. And, I'm a nose guard, so I don't have, linebacker stuff. And, 4 weeks is really 8 weeks, because I'm pounding, beating it, hitting it every play, taking on double teams, tweaking it and everything else. At the end of the off season, I go see my chiropractor, my sports medicine guy. He says, don't tell nobody, but you got nerve damage in your right knee. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we have to rebuild your quad. We have to do all this stuff. Your knee is shot. I was like, nah, I just got a scope. So I was like, that's impossible.
Oh,
and
man.
That was the case. Yeah, so, and then I went back and, my guy, Brad Childress, he convinced me to come back, and I'm thinking everything is great. That off season, I get a call saying, because watch how this go. We're about to play the Saints. So I already said how much I love Greg Williams. Greg is my guy. I love Greg. Like if I get married again, Greg is my best man. Whoever like that. I love Greg. He's just an awesome guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great coach and so on. Tony Hargrove, you already know him from the Rams.
Yeah.
So you got Anthony Hargrove. That's my guy from the Rams. Bill, I can't even think of his name right now, but Bill, the D-line coach.
Bill Johnson's with the Rams now.
Bill Johnson was the D-line coach with the Broncos. So Bill Johnson was the D-line coach with the Broncos when I got traded there. And Bill loved me. Jacob Burney didn't like me, but Bill loved me. You know what I'm saying? So Bill was my guy. So then now you got who else we had there? We had Alex Brown, I believe, from Chicago. So I'm talking to all the guys on the field, laughing and joking. One of the last guys off the field. Next thing you know, it's the off season. I get a call saying, "Hey, Mr. Kennedy, we heard about a bounty." I was like, "What's that?" I was like, "What do you mean a bounty?" Somebody said that you said that there's a player that there was a bounty on Brett Favre. I was like, "Who put it on him? Like, what do you mean?" And this isn't Roger Goodell. This is like one of his assistants or something. And it's like it was a bounty, and I was just like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. like, put money on a player. I was like, I don't know. I was just like, why would